Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that will shift the way you look at success forever. Too many people wake up every morning with one goal in mind and make more money. They chase it like a dog chases a car, frantically, blindly, and without strategy. But here's the truth you to hear today: money is not something you chase. Money is something you attract by the person you become and the value you create. Let me say that again: money chases value. So stop running after money and start becoming valuable. We live in a world where people believe that hustle alone is the answer. Work 100 hours a week when you're dead. Grind until you shine. But here's what they don't tell you. If you hustle without value, you're just busy being broke. Money chases value, not hustle. This concept is a fundamental shift from what most people have been taught. In a culture that glorifies grinding, working 18-hour days, and wearing exhaustion like a badge of honor, it's easy to believe that more hustle automatically equals more money. But that's simply not the truth. Hustle might get you attention, it might get you a head start, but it will never sustain wealth unless it's attached to value. Value is what the market rewards, not your time, not your effort, not how tired you are. Value is the result of solving a problem in a meaningful way. It's about creating something that makes someone else's life easier, better, or more effective. That might be a product, a service, an experience, or even just an idea presented in a way that no one else has done. When you understand that wealth flows in the direction of value, not effort, your focus changes completely. People hustle because they think money is hiding somewhere, and if they just move fast enough or work long enough, they'll catch it. But money isn't a rabbit that runs from you. It's a mirror. It reflects the level of service and impact you bring to the world. You can hustle all day selling a product that no one wants, or work in a job where your output has little impact and you'll still end up frustrated and broke. But if you stop, take a moment and ask you, what real value am I offering? You start to build something that money is naturally drawn to. Let's get practical. Two people can work the same number of hours. One makes minimum wage and the other makes millions. What's the difference? It's not effort's value. The person earning millions is solving bigger problems, serving more people, or creating greater results. They've positioned themselves where their contribution is worth more. That doesn't mean they're better. It means they've developed themselves and they're offering to the point where the marketplace rewards them differently. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Hustle is addictive. It feels good. They see the strength of productive. You feel like you're doing something. But hustle without direction is wasted motion. And hustle without value is just noise. It's the illusion of progress without the fruit of prosperity. It might look impressive on social media, but in the bank, it's quiet. You want a wealth, learn how to create value. That means developing skills that matter. That means understanding your audience. That means becoming obsessed with excellence. That means mastering your craft and focusing on outcomes, not just output. It's not about how much you do. It's about how much of what you do actually matters to someone else. And when you get that right, money has no choice but to follow. Money is a byproduct. It is the fruit, not the seed. The seed is value. The seed is service. The seed is contribution. You plant value in the marketplace, and the harvest is income. Too many people try to harvest money from a field they've never sown value into. That's not strategy. That's fantasy. The marketplace doesn't care about your effort. It doesn't care how many hours you stayed up. It doesn't even care how badly you want it. It only responds to value. So if you're chasing money, you're running after the wrong thing. You don't chase money. You become someone worth chasing, and you do that by building value so significant, so undeniable, that money naturally gravitates to you. Solve problems, don't sell time. This is a principle that separates those who trade hours for dollars from those who build wealth and influence. Most people have been taught from a young age that the way to earn money is to work a certain number of hours and get paid a fixed rate for their time. This mindset creates a ceiling. No matter how hard you work, your income is always limited by the number of hours you can physically give. But when you begin to solve problems instead of selling time, you remove that ceiling and open the door to exponential results. Time is a finite resource. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, no matter their status or background. You can't multiply time, but you can multiply value. The people who solve problems at a high level don't get based on how long it takes. They get paid based on the impact of the solution they provide. If someone can solve $1 million problem in 10 minutes, do you think they should be paid based on the 10 minutes or the $1 million result? The answer is clear, yet most people are still stuck in a model where they tie their worth to the clock instead of the change they create. When you sell time, you become replaceable. There's always someone willing to work longer hours or charge a lower rate. Competing on time is a race to the bottom. But when you solve unique problems, when you bring creativity, insight, or transformation, you stand out. You become rare, and rarity commands value. The marketplace doesn't pay you for being present. It pays you for being powerful in your presence, able to shift things, fix things, or unlock things that others cannot. Solving problems requires a different mindset. It means looking for pain points, inefficiencies, or unmet needs and positioning yourself as a solution. It requires you to study your audience, understand their language, and offer something that meets their need with precision. It means shifting from being a task taker to a value creator. You're no longer just showing up to do what's asked. They see the strength of the in. You're stepping in with the intention to leave, then you found them. The highest paid people in the world didn't get there by logging the most hours. They got there by solving the biggest problems. Whether it's in business, health, relationships, finance, or leadership, people will always pay to have their problem solved. That's the key. People don't want your time. They want a result. They want freedom from pain, confusion, or frustration, and they are willing to pay generously for that. This applies whether you're a freelancer, entrepreneur, coach, consultant, or business owner. The moment you stop offering time and start offering solutions, you move into a different category. You start to command premium pricing. You stop competing with everyone else doing the same thing and start leading with your unique ability to create outcomes. And the best part, solving problems creates leverage. A product, service, or system that solves a recurring problem can scale without requiring more of your personal time. That's how you build assets instead of always being the asset. Even if you start small, the principle still applies. Look for ways to bring solutions, not just show up. Anticipate needs, create tools, offer strategies, deliver clarity, become the answer to someone's question or the fix for someone's pain. When you do that, people don't care how many hours it took you. They only care that you solved it. Focus on transformation, not transactions. This is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in the way you approach business, service, and even personal relationships. Transactions are everywhere. Buying, selling, exchanging money for goods or services. They're easy, they're shallow, but transformation, that's deeper, that's lasting, that's where real impact and real wealth are created. A transaction is simply an exchanging. I give you something and you give me something back. It ends the moment the exchange is complete. But transformation is about change. It's about elevating someone's condition, solving a deep problem, or helping them reach a higher level of life, business, or mindset. Transformation stays with people. It changes how they think, how operate, and how they see the world. When you focus on creating transformation, you become invaluable. Many people are stuck in the transactional mindset. They believe their role is to sell a product or perform a task and get paid. That mindset might get you by, but it won't create legacy. It won't build loyalty. It won't generate referrals, raving fans, or repeat clients. But when you shift your focus to helping people experience real change, your work starts to carry weight. You stop being a vendor and you start becoming a catalyst. They see the strength of the transformation builds trust. It builds authority. It positions you as someone who doesn't just take money, but delivers meaning. People remember who helped them break through, not who just gave them something to buy. They see the strength of them. When you become that person, the one who helps someone achieve what they thought was impossible, you become a magnet in the marketplace. You no longer have to push your offer because the value is felt, not just understood. To focus on transformation, you have to care deeply about outcomes. You have to look beyond the surface of what you're offering and ask, what does this really do for someone? How does this change their life, business, health, mindset, or relationships? You stop selling futures and start delivering futures. You understand that people aren't just buying a product or service, they're buying a better version of themselves. This principle applies in every industry. A fitness coach isn't just offering workouts, they're offering confidence, strength, energy, and identity. A business consultant isn't just offering strategy, they're offering freedom, clarity, and growth. A speaker doesn't just deliver words, they deliver perspective shifts, mindset resets, and new possibilities. When you begin to operate with that kind of intention, everything about the way you deliver your value changes. You'll start to charge differently. When you're offering information, when you're not pricing based on your time or your tools, you're pricing based on the value of the outcome. And transformational outcomes are priceless. They see that people will pay more, stay longer, and promote your brand more passionately when they've experienced a change they couldn't get anywhere else. It also changes your marketing. Instead of trying to convince people to buy, you invite them into a story of what their life could look like after working with you. You help them envision a better version of themselves. You shift the focus from here I sell to, here's what y'all become. And that kind of message resonates on a deeper level because it speaks to desire, purpose, and potential, not just logic. Focusing on transformation creates a ripple effect. When someone experiences a powerful shift, they talk about it, become walking testimonials. They become ambassadors for your brand. Transformation multiplies because it touches emotions, identities, and core beliefs. It's not a one-time event. It's a doorway to new realities. Become valuable to the marketplace. That statement is not just advice. It's a law of success in business and life. Value is the currency of marketplace. It's not your ambition, your education, or your work ethic alone that the marketplace rewards. It's your value. The more valuable you become, the more doors open, the more opportunities flow to you, and the more income you attract. The people who thrive in any economy are those who have positioned themselves as irreplaceable by becoming people of high value. Value comes from your ability to meet needs, solve problems, and create outcomes that matter. It's not about being busy. It's not about being impactful. The marketplace is not emotional. It doesn't care how hard you try. It responds to results. You don't get paid for what you know. You get paid for what you do know that benefits someone else. The faster you internalize that, the faster you rise above average. To become valuable, you have to become a student of the game. You have to study the pain points of the people you want to serve. You have to know what keeps them up at night, what they're afraid of, what they desire most. Then you go to work developing the tools, skills, and mindset to meet those needs better than anyone else. That's how you become valuable, not by guessing, but by understanding and then executing with precision. Being valuable is not about being talented in a general sense. It's about being useful in a specific context. You can be gifted, skilled, and intelligent, but if you're not directing those gifts towards something the marketplace needs, you're invisible. The goal is not just to be impressive, it's to be indispensable. That means constantly refining your ability to produce results that move the needle for others. It means mastering your craft, deepening your expertise, and staying relevant in a world that changes fast. Your income is a reflection of your value to the marketplace. If you want to increase your income, increase your value. This doesn't necessarily mean working harder. It means working smarter, learning more, improving your offer, enhancing your service, and being more intentional about the problems you solve. When you increase your value, people don't need to be convinced to pay you. They'll feel that you bring is worth more than what they're spending. Becoming valuable also means building character, reliability, and integrity. Skills can open doors, but character determines how long you stay inside. People want to work with, buy from, and promote individuals they trust. So if you want to become more valuable, become someone who follows through, communicates well, and delivers more than expected. Under promise and over deliver becomes more than a cliche. It becomes a standard. Positioning is part of value. It's not enough to be good. You have to be seen as good. You need to know how to communicate your value clearly. That means refining your message, targeting the right audience, and showing the results you bring. If people don't understand your value, they won't pay for it. So part of becoming valuable is learning how to package and present you do in a way that resonates with those you serve. The most successful people aren't always the smartest, the most connected, or the most experienced. They are the most valuable. They bring something to the table that no one else can duplicate in quite the same way. They own their uniqueness, they sharpen it, and they show up with it every single time. When you become valuable, you don't chase opportunities, chase you. The market recognizes and rewards what it needs, and your job is to make sure you're offering something it cannot ignore. Income follows impact. That simple truth redefines how success is built and how wealth is earned. Too many people focus on trying to increase their income without first increasing their impact. But the marketplace doesn't reward effort alone, it rewards effectiveness. It doesn't pay for intentions, it pays for transformation. If what you do makes a measurable difference in people's lives, your income will reflect that difference. It's not about what you want to earn. It's about what you're earning based on the weight of the value you deliver. Impact means that what you do leaves a mark. It creates change. It produces results that are felt, seen, and appreciated. If you want more income, the first question is not, how can I make more money? It's how can I make a greater impact? That shift in thinking takes you from a mindset of accumulation to a mindset of contribution. And contribution is the foundation of sustainable income. When you solve a problem, elevate a person, or simplify a process, you become a person of influence. And influence always leads to income. A person who impacts 10 people might make a living. A person who impacts 10,000 can build a fortune. Scale is just impact multiplied, but you can't scale what you haven't first delivered with excellence. That's why impact starts at the individual level. Can you help one person solve a problem? Can you change one customer's experience for the better? If you can do it once, you can do it repeatedly. And once you can do it repeatedly, you can design systems and processes to do it consistently at scale. People often underestimate the importance of impact because it's not always immediate. Transactions are fast, but impact can be slow. It can take time to build a brand that people trust. It can take effort to refine your delivery so that the results you promise is the results you actually promise. But when you focus on impact, you're building equity, you're building a name, a reputation, and a legacy. And over time, that legacy begins to attract income from places you didn't even expect. Impact is not just about what you do. It's about how what you do changes the life, business, or mindset of someone else. That means paying attention to feedback, measuring outcomes, and being willing to evolve. You don't just want to be known as someone who works hard. You want to be known gets results. When people start associating your name with growth, clarity, progress, or relief, they see the strength truly come to you when they want those. That's how demand is created. And where there is demand, there is income. This applies whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, or a leader. If you're in business, you need to be asking how your product or service impacts the end user. If you're working for someone else, ask how your role impacts the company's success. If you're leading a team, Ask how your leadership impacts the growth and morale of your people. The more impact you create, the more indispensable you become. And when you're indispensable, compensation tends to rise to meet your value. Income is not random. It's a mirror. It reflects the depth and scale of your impact. If you want to raise your income, raise your level of contribution, do more than is expected, offer more than is promised, deliver at a level that exceeds the competition. Become known for excellence, not just competence. People pay for results, not routines. They pay for breakthroughs, not business. When your work consistently creates real, lasting, positive change, income begins to flow as a natural consequence. The focus isn't on getting more. It's on giving more in a way that matters. Build, serve, and let money find you. That principle shifts the entire approach to successness and wealth. Most people operate in reverse. They chase money first, then try to build something around it, and finally think about service as an afterthought. But real and lasting success comes from building something meaningful, serving others with excellence, and allowing money to become the byproduct, not the primary pursuit. Money follows purpose, structure, and service. It flows solutions toward systems and toward people who consistently meet needs at a high level. Building is about foundation. It's about creating something solid. Something that can last. That could be a business, a brand, a reputation, or a skill set. But whatever it is, it must be intentionally developed. Too many people want big results without laying the groundwork. They want visibility without credibility, but building requires time, effort, and a long-term mindset. It means constructing systems, refining your craft, and becoming excellent at what you do before expecting a reward. It's not about hype. It's about mastery. You build when you show up daily and improve piece by piece, knowing that consistency compounds. Serving is what gives your building purpose. Without service, whatever you create is just a shell. Service means identifying who you're helping, how you're helping them, and what outcome they can expect because of your help. It means leading with empathy, listening deeply, and delivering value in ways that matter. The service is not just about being nice. It's about being intentional. It's about committing to excellence, not for applause, because you care about the results someone else will experience. The most successful people in business are the ones who solve real problems with a heart to serve, not just a goal to earn. When you build with excellence and serve with integrity, something powerful happens. Money starts to find you. Not because you manipulated it, not because you begged for it, but because you became the kind of person or business that attracts it. When people see consistent quality, real value, and authentic service, they talk, they refer, they return. Your brand grows, your reputation expands, and income begins to increase, not because you chased it, but because you created something worth paying for. The idea of letting money find you is not passive, it's strategic. It doesn't mean you do nothing and wait. It means your focus stays on value, impact, and service while your system's communication and positioning invite money to come in naturally. People can feel when they're being hunted, but they also recognize when they're being served. One pushes people away. The other draws them closer. When your priority is to build and serve, money comes in as a response to trust and relevance. Letting money find you means developing the discipline to delay gratification. It means resisting the urge to cash in on shortcuts or gimmicks and instead choosing to become known for substance. It means understanding that the strength of your foundation will determine the height of your growth. When you build strong and serve well, what you've created becomes a magnet, drawing in opportunity, clients, partnerships, and revenue. This approach is not just more effective, it's more fulfilling. When money is your only goal, burnout is close behind. But when your focus is on building something you believe in and serving people you care about, you find energy, clarity, and purpose. The work becomes meaningful. The success becomes sustainable. You move from hustling out of desperation to operating from a place of abundance. You don't have to chase every opportunity because you know the right ones will come to you. Money is simply attracted to excellence, and excellence is born from building intentionally and serving relentlessly.